Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shabi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a part 2 message for Aaliyah, tapping in to see what took place around the time of her transition. So right now we're in this phase of looking at how did Aaliyah feel about the people that were surrounding her in, I believe it was Barbados or the Bahamas? Bahamas, yes. How does she feel about the people that were surrounding her? So I'm going to pull some cards to see if she felt any suspicion. Was she feeling uncomfortable? Was there anything that just felt outside of the norm for her? So let's see. How did Aaliyah feel about the people around her? So I have the Miracle card in the reverse. Dreams come true. Get what you want in the reverse. Okay. Bottom of the deck says intuition. Wow, look at this. The plane. This is in a reverse right behind intuition. Her intuition was telling her not to get on this plane. And I did hear something like that where she did not want to get on the plane. Also, I appreciate every last one of you who have been leaving comments as far as the information that you have surrounding Aaliyah's death, okay? I appreciate that. But her intuition was telling her not to get on the plane, okay? She felt like there was something about it that just was not in alignment with her wish fulfillment. So I'm going to see. Let's get some more clarity here. Intuition and the Gravity card is in the reverse. Why? What was her intuition telling her concerning getting on this plane? So this says work in the reverse. Oh, she felt like it was not going to work, like there was something wrong with the plane. Let me see something here. Work in the reverse. I have snake, lie, poison. Now this was in a reverse as well. Roll the dice. It felt like a gamble here. Take a chance, risk, leap of faith. She didn't want to do it. Like she felt like something was wrong with the plane. I have miss you. And then I have letting go, surrender, release. Her intuition was telling her that there was a snake around her that had ill intentions here. I don't feel like she was working that well with the people around her either, because this is like people that's supposed to be working together to achieve a common goal here. But it's in the reverse. So she didn't feel right. I feel like, shoot, maybe I just heard potentially even the whole time she was there, something was telling her that things were off here. Let me see. 7 of Cups. So this is like someone taking some sort of substance, maybe she felt like her head was in the clouds here, but there was a sense of confusion. 4 of Cups in the reverse. She did not want to miss out on an opportunity though. 6 of Swords. So she was hoping that things will move forward in a positive direction. She was trying to see things from a different perspective here. But yeah, she had people around her who was definitely coming up against her. Maybe competitive energy. She did not like the people that was in her circle at that time. 3 of Wands. She knew someone was waiting for her. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, she tried to stay optimistic about where the future could take her, because the Queen of Pentacles is financial success. She tried to look past all of this drama that was around her. She tried to look past it and be more optimistic because she didn't want to miss the opportunity. But the Ace of Wands is in a reverse. It was like she was starting to lose her passion for this. King of Pentacles is in a reverse because there was a lot of greedy, money-hungry people around her. I need to get something for this King of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, affair. Yeah. Mistress, third party. See, whoever this person is, this is interesting because we have the Queen of Pentacles, but we also have the King of Pentacles in the reverse here. Queen of Pentacles, but the King of Pentacles is in a reverse. So she knew she was connecting with someone who was money hungry. But this person could have already been involved in a pretty serious relationship as well, with the mistress third party energy coming through. Yeah, it says Sang. Sang is in a reverse. This person threatened her career. Okay? They threatened that she would no longer be able to sing, to no longer be able to perform here. Drinks. Okay, so I need to get back because I'm seeing that she was very apprehensive because of this person who was making threats towards her. Now, if you go back and watch part 1, you'll be able to see that there was a person in a position of power in her energy who was very obsessed with her. This person was sending threatening messages to her, saying things like, you know, you're going to lose your career, XYZ, you know, pretty much threatening her money, her well-being. And this person was likely already connected to somebody, pretty seriously connected to someone else who's potentially a Queen of Pentacles. So it feels like both of them had money, but this male, very money hungry and greedy, okay? So there was an affair here. So hot is in the reverse. Yeah, because see, it says popular, explosive. So with it coming out in the reverse, this person was threatening her popularity, her fame. Like whoever this is, they had clout, they had connections, and they had the ability to influence her success in a positive way or in a negative way. But with this coming out in the reverse, they was definitely trying to take her popularity or take her position here. Now consider this woman has wings here. So Aaliyah is definitely an earth angel is what I'm picking up. I mean, even when I watched her, like her energy was very, very different. You know, a lot of times they get chosen seeds, knowing that chosen seeds are very creative, very, very creative. And typically when you bring a chosen seed into any project, it's going to flourish. It's going to amplify. So they try to corrupt the chosen by hooking them up with very low vibrational people or getting them addicted to different substances, lifting them up and then tearing them down. Like there's different ways that they try to break the chosen. So we have here messages. See, I'm telling you, there was some sort of information that was being exchanged here. Communication, call records. There would have been some things found in her phone, and it could very well be that, I don't think, you know, of course, being in a airplane crash, the likelihood that they will be able to retrieve that information is kind of slim. Message is clarified by talent. See, somebody was threatening her talent here. Let me see. Electronization, data, backup. And then I told y'all threats. Somebody was making threats towards her, threatening her money, her livelihood. 7 of Pentacles in a reverse, telling her everything that she worked for was going to be pulled right from underneath her, just like that, like it never happened, like she would be a has-been. It was a King of Cups in a reverse. This is someone who definitely dealt with addictive patterns. Like I said, definitely heavily into alcohol, but strongly sensing other substances as well as sexual addictions is what came out in message 1. This King of Pentacles / King of Cups in a reverse. Very emotionally detached, emotional manipulator, like all of that. They saw Aaliyah as the star. So let me see. What did they know about the plane? Those who arranged for her to get on the plane, because from what I understand, she was supposed to get on a different plane. Let me see. She didn't want to get on this plane specifically. She wanted to get on a different plane. From what I understand now, I'd have to go back and listen because it's been a long time. But she wanted to get on a different plane because she was not comfortable with the one that they wanted to place her on. Okay, that's why this card is in a reverse. She felt like something, her intuition was telling her something was off about it, okay? And it was just a risk that she just did not really want to take here. So the people who arranged for her to get on this plane, what did they know? I need to get a couple of extra decks here. What did they know? I've read some of your comments, and some of you have mentioned the uncle. I will definitely look into that in a separate reading. But right now, I want to tap into the energy of the days prior to her death. So the person who arranged for her to get on this plane, what did they know? The moon is in the reverse. They definitely wasn't in the dark about some things here. The Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. The person who arranged for her to get on the plane, what did they know? The Chariot in the reverse. They knew she was not going to make it to her destination. They definitely knew that with the Chariot in the reverse. It's not taking her where she needs to go. What did they know? Temperance is here. And the Six of Wands. Wow. This person knew that Aaliyah was an earth angel, but they also knew that, I'm picking up that if this person knew that this was going to cause her death, like I said, this for entertainment purposes only, okay? I cannot say that anything coming through this message is 100% factual. It feels like this person knew that she would be worth more in her death than she was alive. Like they knew that her transitioning, her gaining her wings would bring about a lot of attention. And I don't know if there's a Sagittarius that ended up getting famous after Aaliyah's death. But if you all know of any Sagittarius, especially women specifically, put it in the comment section. Somebody expected that another person may get famous as a result of Aaliyah gaining her wings here. So I have the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. The Nine of Cups. Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, that's like somebody's wish fulfillment was that she would be dropped, because the Two of Pentacles in the reverse is like releasing, juggling financially. That Aaliyah will be dropped from this, and the Ten of Pentacles, someone else will gain wealth. But when you gain wealth through the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, it's from doing something very nefarious, criminal, in order to gain a lot of wealth, okay? This was somebody's wish fulfillment behind the scenes here. Five of Cups is in the reverse. I need to tap in because they definitely did not grieve her death. I want to get a different deck here. The person that arranged for Aaliyah to get on the plane. What are they hiding? Wanted to cause illness. Mental illness. What's behind that? Dark magic. Wow. So we have two cards that's speaking on illness, mental illness, dark magic, spell broken. Oh my goodness. So the person that put her on a plane was doing spell work over Aaliyah. But I feel like, yeah, they wanted her to feel like she was losing her mind by doing dark magic over her, but the spell was broken, like she was starting to wake up. Somebody was concerned that she was starting to wake up to their agenda. Let me see. I have Crooked Judge. They know you know. See, they knew that she was starting to wake up. It could have been that she was going to take somebody to court, or she was going to sever ties with someone, and maybe it would have required some sort of legal process. But even the judge would have been crooked in this situation. They know that Aaliyah knew some things, especially because the spell had been broken. So if they was trying to cause some form of mental illness to where she was like clouded and uncertain about the people around her by using dark magic, that spell was broken. So whoever this person is that put her on the plane, they was very concerned that they was going to take a lot of losses here, and that Aaliyah would move on in her fame without them. Okay? In-laws. In-laws. Oh, in-laws. Now, I heard that Aaliyah did get married. Who did they say she got married to R. Kelly? Did they actually end up getting a divorce, y'all? Y'all have to leave it in the comments section below, because I remember hearing rumors that she supposedly married R. Kelly. But obviously during this time, around getting on the plane, she was dealing with Dame Dash. But based on a reading that I did prior to this one, part 1, I was seeing that there was a separation between the two of them. So it's something about in-laws here. False mask. Karmics losing money. Yeah, they was afraid of losing money if Aaliyah would have separated her energy from them, which I feel like she was in the process of doing it. So they wanted to keep her stuck. They wanted to keep her stuck. Wow, it was all about sacrificing her because they was afraid of losing wealth. Let me see what I get for the in-laws again, because I don't know. Karmic partner. So these in-laws will be connected to a karmic partner that she had. Slander. There was a lot of slander surrounding this karmic partner. And they set Aaliyah up. They were involved in setting Aaliyah up. She was being watched very closely by these people. I want to get something for the threatening messages that was coming through. If I can get more clarity. Matter of fact, let me shuffle. The threatening text messages or emails or phone calls, whatever this threatening communication was, I want to get some more clarity about that. But this is directly still talking about the person who would have been involved in setting up this plane ride for Aaliyah. Karmic family. So the threats was coming from karmic family. It could have been in-laws, but judgment, addictions, truth. Some sort of truth was getting ready to be exposed here concerning a karmic family. Oh, and they wanted generational wealth through Aaliyah. It says she knows. They knew that she was aware of something here. Oh my goodness. So this could have been in-laws, even if it wasn't connected to Aaliyah being married, right? It could have been in-laws that was connected to her blood family that was also involved in this, that had some part in setting up this plane ride for her. So now, considering many of you have said that her uncle was her manager, which I had no idea about that until y'all started saying it. So I'd have to go back and look him up. But you all said that he was her manager. Let me see what he might have known about this, because let's just consider. I don't know if the uncle was married, but that could be the in-laws, right? It could be the uncle and his wife and that part of the family that was involved in setting up Aaliyah. This uncle could have been very afraid of her moving on without him. Let me see. What was the uncle's position in Aaliyah's death? Leah. I wonder if he called her Leah. What was the uncle's position in Aaliyah's death? She knows. Wow. Aaliyah knew something about this uncle. Let me see. Affair. They faced severe judgment. Betrayal. Okay, she knew that she was being betrayed by this uncle here. They also knew that Aaliyah was aware of something. Let me clarify. She knows. She knows. I'm gonna let it fly. She knows. So I have paid under the table to clarify she knows, okay? She knows that someone was paid under the table here. Paid under the table to do what? Paid under the table to do what? It's a blank card. Working with family. She knows someone was paid under the table to work with her family, work with the family against her. It's over. So she might have been cutting ties with these people, because this is still concerning the uncle. I have facing jail time. She might have been willing to take somebody to court. Aaliyah might have been ready to take somebody to court concerning some sort of betrayal here. All right. Theft. I was just feeling that. Somebody could have been stealing her money directly connected to this uncle. She knew that he and certain people in his family, he was probably even having affairs and spending a lot of this money on women. Aaliyah knew a lot of things. She knew that she was being betrayed by this uncle here, and she was about ready to take his ass to court over her money. You always felt out of place. She never felt like she fit in with these people. Slander. They said a lot of negative things about her. Brother. There's a brother involved in this. I do not know if Aaliyah had a brother. False female friend. Sacrifice you. Wow. Karmics at the bottom of the deck. This was a family of karmics, especially the ones directly connected to this uncle. They were being paid under the table, taking money, stealing money from Aaliyah, okay? And they would have been facing jail time. Has she taken it through to court? Because you did see crooked judge. So maybe she... like there's quite a few people that would have been paid under the table knowing that she would have been worth more in her death than she was alive. I feel like she started to really wake up from the spells that they placed over her to make her think that she was crazy, she was tripping, she was delusional. Many people were involved in sacrificing Aaliyah, okay? They slandered her name behind the scenes. She had a false female friend that was around her. Let me see what I can get about this false female friend. Was also paid under the table. I don't know who her closest friend was. I'd have to look into that. But she had a false female friend that was also paid under the table. Paid under the table to make her think that she was protected. But they also told this false female friend that she was protected and that she didn't have to worry about anything. The spell was broken, though. Maybe this false female friend was involved in, that card just said they wanted your life. Maybe she was involved in doing spell work as well over Aaliyah, because usually it's the people that's closest to you that can keep that energy going, right? Keep you under that state of illusion, or they're close to you so they can keep a watchful eye on how things are working against you. See, they know you're chosen. They knew Aaliyah was chosen here, especially this false female friend, the uncle, but it was all to keep her stuck. Wow. Yeah, see, she was ready to settle ties. I mean, sever ties. But I said settle because I saw court documents. So I feel like there was something concerning the courts here. She was getting ready to take somebody to court for stealing money from her. And I feel like it was directly connected to the uncle. Let me just see, what was her connection to the uncle prior to her death? Especially in the final days. What was her relationship? Her interpretation of her relationship with her uncle. So I have the Ace of Cups in a reverse, the Empress, the Fool. See, she was ready to move into a different direction. She was getting her strength up, and she was ready to move into a brand new beginning. King of Pentacles, the Hierophant. Okay. Five of Wands in a reverse. It feels like she was avoiding conflict with him. I feel like the love wasn't exactly there like it used to be. But, and in some cases, she was ready to jump out there and try something new. He was very concerned about his money because he had built a lot of wealth, or had a lot of expectations of wealth when it came to his connection with her. He was still giving her a lot of advice, though. I think she might have still respected his advice about the industry. The Knight of Pentacles is in a reverse with the Four of Wands in a reverse. There was something going on concerning money, though. Somebody felt like they were stuck. The money was not coming in. Page of Cups. She had a new opportunity here that would really enhance her stardom and her notoriety. So the Three of Wands is in reverse. I feel like he was very pessimistic about that, but she was very optimistic. It was like they was on opposite ends, but she knew that things would definitely take off if she went into a different direction, and he was not happy about it. Yeah, because he felt like, oh, this is not how it was planned. Seven of Cups is in a reverse. Wow, in a reverse twice. Seven of Cups in a reverse, coming out back to back twice. Let me see. Damn. Eight of Wands in a reverse. Yeah, he definitely was trying to put this to a stop, put it to a halt. He didn't want her having other options. He didn't even want her exploring other options, because the Seven of Cups in the upright deals with exploring other options, looking into different directions to see what else is out there. He didn't want her doing that, but he also knew that if she took the leap of faith, she was going to advance. But this was not in his plans because he was benefiting way too much from it. While she still valued his advice, the emotional nature of the connection was no longer there. It feels like it turned into more of a business, like a transactional relationship between herself and her uncle. But somebody was concerned about losing, concerning like their living circumstances. Four of Wands can deal with a home, but coming out in the reverse, it's like losing a home. Queen of Swords in a reverse. The Fool is in a reverse. And the Ten of Wands. There was some woman here around too who was very, very bitter, very ugly energy here, that was weighed down at the idea of Aaliyah moving off on her own. Get something about this Queen of Swords in the reverse. Photos in the reverse here. Addictions. Rest. Yeah, Aaliyah needed some time away from somebody. It was somebody here that was dealing with addictions. Very obsessive, very controlling. She didn't have the best memories with this person. This person might not have even been in photos with Aaliyah, whoever this Queen of Swords in the reverse is, okay? There might not have been a lot of good memories that she shared with this person here. I have honor. Yeah, because Aaliyah had honor. She had a dignity is what I'm picking up. So I have this, says street, export, exhibit. Somebody definitely wanted to be able to shop good off of Aaliyah's money here. Pollution is in a reverse. I feel like Aaliyah was not into a lot of the things that other people in the industry or around her directly were into, such as addictive patterns, overindulgence. That just was not her. But somebody wanted her to be that way because they didn't like how pure she was in her energy. It's like when the spell was starting to lift, I feel like they was doing spell work to create mental illness for Aaliyah, to have her overthinking, but also possibly trying to introduce her to certain substances or drinks, hoping that she would gravitate towards it to numb herself out from the mental manipulation that would have been happening through the spell work. But Aaliyah was not attracted to those types of things in the way that they hoped she would. Not saying that she never drank or indulged in anything, but I don't feel like it was something where she was drawn to addictive patterns here. Eight of Cups. Two of Pentacles in a reverse. Justice is here. Yeah, I feel like she was definitely getting ready to walk away here. The King of Cups. Let me clarify Justice. Temperance. She was waiting for the right time. It was all about divine timing. She was going to walk away. I feel like she felt very comfortable with this King of Cups energy. Let me clarify the King of Cups. The Chariot is in the reverse. Four of Pentacles is in the reverse. The High Priestess, right behind that is the World in the reverse. I mean, it's kind of giving that she still had emotional attachment to this King of Cups, but she was starting to release or let go of this person because she felt like she was taking losses as a result of her connection with this person. This might still be the uncle's energy. This might still be the, yeah, so she cared about this King of Cups at one point. I feel like this is the uncle's energy, but she started to realize that he was not trustworthy. I feel like she was going to take him to court. I really do. I'm strongly sensing that she was going to take the uncle to court. I'm going to clarify justice again. She was waiting for the right timing, but something had not closed out yet for her to do that. But her intuition was telling her that something was off. I feel like she started to count her money, like she started to pay attention to certain things. At one point, she trusted and just kind of left it in his hands or the hands of other people that she was supposed to trust, but she started to realize something was off here. So, yeah, this is in a reverse change. Something was, she wasn't seeing change, like as far as the progression here. She wasn't seeing growth. Hope, wish fulfillment, deep thinking, solving puzzles. Yeah, I feel like she was starting to really look at things on a deeper perspective, from a deeper perspective, like, hold on, that what she expected was not coming through. So she was trying to see what was going on. And I also, yeah, she was ascending, leveling up. Yeah, she expected progress. She expected, because this says level up, promotion, progress. She expected for things to move up for her. So maybe she felt like, okay, this next step, I feel like the uncle promised her this next thing that we're getting ready to do is getting ready to take you really far. Like I said, the relationship became more transactional. But some part of her felt like emotionally, she really was not, she couldn't trust him as much, but she still cared about him and respected his advice. But she was starting to sense that something was off concerning the financial aspect of this relationship. She felt like money was missing, or like things just was not growing, like she wasn't seeing. Let's just say she did a bunch of concerts and tours, but she noticed like, okay, out of all of this work that I've been putting in, how come I'm not seeing a huge increase here? Because she was starting to speculate something was off. Yeah, I told you her intuition was telling her that, okay? Her intuition was telling her that something was off here. So it looks like, yeah, she wanted to go off on her own. This says isolation, independent, alone. She wanted to go into a different direction here. Yeah, because cool down is here. I feel like she was very hot once she started to realize that something was off with the money. I'm telling you now, okay? This says money problems, work, success, fortune. Something was off. So she was getting ready to branch out on her own here. And she felt pretty confident that she could rise from this and to do pretty well without the influence of her uncle. Maybe she had other people around that was saying, hey, I want to work with you, but you're going to have to drop your uncle in order to do this. And this uncle, with whoever he was surrounded by, if he was married, could have been his family, which would be Aaliyah's in-laws, right? Could have very much so been convincing him, like, she getting ready to run off and you're going to end up being in a very compromising position financially. Like, this person, the uncle, could have been afraid of losing his home and everything, because I don't know if the uncle had other artists who have gotten big, but it feels like Aaliyah might have been the only one that he could really depend on for his livelihood. Knight of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, the Six of Wands. 10 of Wands in the reverse. 3 of Pentacles in the reverse. She did not want to work with him anymore. Aaliyah wanted to go off independently. She wanted to drop the burdens, and somebody was very, very stressed out about that. 8 of Swords. Okay? I feel like this was the uncle's energy. Very stressed out about that. So what did the uncle do? Knowing that Aaliyah wanted to separate herself, I feel like either she said this out loud or she was making subtle hints. He could tell that spell that they tried to place over her to keep her confused was lifting, and that she was starting to see certain things. They knew that she was aware. They could have hired a high priestess to tap into her energy to see if she was speculating any deception. Let me see. How did he feel? They are afraid of you. Slander. Agenda. Yeah, their agenda was to try to slander her name. They are receiving karma. That's what they feared. They are feared. Look at that. Caught is at the bottom of the deck. They were afraid of getting caught. Stalking. Victory is in the reverse. They started stalking her, following her, having her watched here. This brother is coming out yet again. I don't know if Aaliyah had a brother. Like I said, if y'all know about a brother, leave a comment below because he could very well be a part of this. Affair is coming through yet again. She knows. I'm telling you, they knew. They knew that Aaliyah was aware of some things here. So let me see. I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to follow up again very soon for a part 3. We're going to tap in and see when Aaliyah got on the plane, what was going on? Where was her headspace at? Because I even heard that she might have been given something to calm her down before getting on the plane. So we'll see. Where was her headspace at? And I definitely want to tap into... We'll just see how the message flows, y'all. But like, subscribe, leave comments below if there's anything that you can add to this, and I'll talk to y'all next time.